Today is Tuesday, Parashat Re'eh. One of the mitzvot in the parasha of this week is the mitzvah of giving charity to those who are in need. Somebody who's in financial distress and he needs assistance, you have the obligation, like the pasuk says, Ki fatoach tiftach et yadecha lo. Open, you shall open your hand to him. In other words, help him, be generous. And even if you have to do it more than one time, that's why the pasuk repeats the word fatoach tiftach. Open, you shall open, even if it's again and again. And there are many ways to help somebody in need. Of course, the highest form of charity that you can give someone is to teach him a trade or to give him some inventory to sell, to help him so that he can earn a living on his own, through his own actions, so that it protects his self-worth. It gives him honor that he's able to support himself. That would be the best way to help him earn a living on his own. But if that's not something that is feasible or the need is pressing right now, then of course you would help. And there are various levels. The best is when you give it without you knowing where that money went to, or he doesn't know where it came from, maybe through a charity organization that you've verified that is a good charity organization that gives the money to those who are in need, so you can give it to the organization and you're helping people without knowing who's the recipient. And he doesn't know really who's the person that gave it to him. Of course, there's also ways to give charity without really giving, let's say as a loan to be paid back, and in advance, if he doesn't pay back, it's okay, but that way you protect also his honor. And in general, the pasuk says, "Ashrei maskil el dal b'yom ra'ai maletu Hashem." Fortunate is a person who helps a person who is in need, but the word for helping is maskil. Maskil, which has to do with sechel, to do it with a certain amount of wisdom, intelligently. Sometimes a person doesn't need money; he needs just good advice. And sometimes he needs a loan rather than charity, because the charity would embarrass him. And of course, to do it in a way that does not embarrass him. So there are many ways that you can help someone with what he really needs. And we'll go through some halachot here. Kol adam chayav leten tzedakah. Every person is obligated to give tzedakah. Afilu ani amitparnes min tzedakah. Even if he was himself poor, and he's supported by others, chayav liten mima sheitnu lo. He's obligated to give from what he receives. So he'll give maybe something, just a small coin, but at least he has to participate also in this mitzvah of giving tzedakah. Now, there are people who are gabayei tzedakah, people who collect for charity for others, and those people who collect charity for others, or when they accept charity to be given, they should be careful that not to receive from the person's children or his wife only a smaller amount, but something that the husband or the father would also agree to. So that they have to be careful that the person who's giving them the charity has the right to give them that amount that he's giving. Always when you give tzedakah, it should be done with a good attitude, with a smile, with a simcha, v'tov levav, and goodness of heart. If you give someone charity with a sour face, you're being hurtful to that person. You're not really helping him. So the attitude with which you give the tzedakah is very, very important. And not just that. Our sages say that when you give charity, you're blessed with 6 blessings. It's financial assistance, if it's material assistance. But amfaiso bidvarim, if a person uplifts the spirits of those who are down, even just with words. You didn't give him charity, but you made him feel better. You helped him with words. You uplifted his spirits. You get 11 blessings. So the attitude with which you give it, and the purpose to bring that person up, whether it is financial, and if that's what he needs, is a nice word, a compliment, a way to encourage him, those words are worth a lot. And if it gives him an attitude that is feeling better, that you've done a big mitzvah also. So what about two poor people that are each giving tzedakah to the other, even if it's small amount? They fulfill this mitzvah of giving charity. And it's the most important mitzvah. When you see somebody in need, don't look the other way. Do whatever you can to help them. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.